A serious vulnerability has been uncovered in the n8n workflow automation platform, posing significant risks for its users. This flaw could allow attackers to execute arbitrary code, potentially compromising sensitive data and system operations. Disclosed on December 23, 2025, the vulnerability, identified as CV 2025-68613, has a high severity rating of 9.9 on the CVSS scale. It affects all versions from 0.211.0 to below 1.120.4, with over 103,000 instances identified as potentially vulnerable, primarily in the US, Germany, France, Brazil, and Singapore. The issue arises when expressions from authenticated users are evaluated in an insecure context, allowing for unauthorized code execution. Next, we'll discuss the implications of this vulnerability and the recommended steps users should take to protect their systems. If you found this update helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to InfoSec Now for the latest cybersecurity news. Your support really helps us continue building useful content for cybersecurity professionals. The timeline of the n8n flaw discovery and disclosure reveals a series of critical milestones that underscore the urgency of addressing this vulnerability. The discovery was made by security researcher Fatih Celik, who identified the flaw and reported it on December 23, 2025. Following this, the n8n maintainers swiftly acknowledged the issue and communicated the potential risks associated with the vulnerability. In the days leading up to the disclosure, it was reported that there were approximately 103,476 potentially vulnerable instances of n8n, highlighting the widespread impact of this flaw. The geographical distribution of these instances, primarily in the United States, Germany, France, Brazil, and Singapore, raises concerns about the global implications of a successful exploit. After the vulnerability's announcement, n8n released patches in versions 1.120.4, 1.121.1, and 1.122.0. This rapid response indicates a commitment to user safety and reflects best practices in vulnerability management within the software community. Users were strongly encouraged to apply these updates immediately to mitigate the risks posed by the flaw. In addition, the maintainers advised users to implement interim measures such as restricting workflow permissions to trusted individuals and deploying n8n in a hardened environment. This guidance underscores the importance of proactive security measures in light of the critical nature of CV 2025-68613. As the situation continues to evolve, the focus remains on ensuring that users are informed and equipped to protect their systems effectively. The discovery of CV 2025-68613 has raised significant concerns among users of the n8n platform, particularly given its extensive user base of approximately 57,000 weekly downloads. With over 103,000 potentially vulnerable instances identified, the implications of this flaw extend far beyond individual users, potentially affecting entire organizations that rely on n8n for critical workflow automation. The nature of this vulnerability highlights the risks associated with user-supplied expressions in workflow configurations. When these expressions are evaluated in an insufficiently isolated execution context, it opens the door for authenticated users to exploit the flaw, allowing them to execute arbitrary code. This could lead to unauthorized access not only to sensitive data but also to the ability to modify existing workflows or even perform system-level operations. The geographical distribution of affected instances adds another layer of complexity, with a significant concentration in countries like the US, Germany, and Brazil. This suggests that organizations across various sectors, including finance, healthcare, and technology, may be at risk, emphasizing the need for immediate action. To mitigate the impact of this vulnerability, n8n maintainers have recommended swift application of the available patches. However, for users unable to update immediately, implementing stricter access controls is crucial. Limiting permissions for workflow creation and editing to trusted individuals can help reduce the attack surface. Additionally, deploying n8n in a hardened environment with restricted system privileges and network access is a proactive approach to safeguarding sensitive operations. As organizations navigate this critical security landscape, the urgency for vigilance and prompt action cannot be overstated. The potential for widespread exploitation underscores the importance of maintaining robust security practices in workflow automation platforms. As organizations grapple with the implications of CV 2025-68613, immediate action is paramount. The n8n maintainers have released patches in versions 1.120.4, 1.121.1, and 1.122.0, addressing the critical vulnerability. Users are strongly urged to upgrade to these versions without delay to safeguard their systems from potential exploitation. In scenarios where patching is not feasible, implementing stricter access controls can provide a temporary layer of security. Limiting workflow creation and editing permissions to only trusted users can mitigate the risk of unauthorized code execution. Additionally, deploying n8n in a hardened environment, one where operating system privileges are restricted and network access is tightly controlled, can significantly reduce the attack surface. Organizations should also conduct a thorough audit of their n8n instances. This includes assessing the current configurations, monitoring user activity, and reviewing logs for any unusual behavior that could indicate an attempted exploitation of the vulnerability. Regular security assessments can help identify and address potential weaknesses before they are exploited. Furthermore, engaging with the wider n8n community can provide valuable insights and support. Users are encouraged to share their experiences and solutions related to this vulnerability, fostering a collaborative approach to security. Keeping abreast of updates from the n8n maintainers and participating in discussions can enhance collective resilience against future threats. Lastly, organizations should consider implementing a comprehensive incident response plan. This plan should outline procedures for responding to security incidents, including communication strategies and recovery steps, ensuring that teams are prepared to act swiftly in the event of an attack. By taking these proactive measures, users can better protect their n8n instances and the sensitive data they handle. If you found this update helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to InfoSec Now for the latest cybersecurity news. Your support really helps us continue building useful content for cybersecurity professionals.